Good afternoon, Bobcats, and welcome to BBTV, your home for Buffett News. Today is Wednesday, May 3rd, 2017. My name is Mr. Torpin, bringing you the news that matters. What you're reviewing is a special edition of BBTV comprised entirely of the Buffett staff members. As always, let's begin with the daily announcements. If you write fan fiction or draw fan art, please enter the Fangirl contest. Submissions need to be in Mrs. Packer's cottage by May 11th. If you are unsure about fan fiction or art, come see Miss Packer before or after school this week. Winners will receive gift cards from Half Price Books and Blick's Art Surprise. 7th grade scholars, meet in the Commons at 8 a.m. Thursday morning for your tour of Omaha field trip. Remember to bring a sack lunch and wear comfortable clothing. If you have not turned in your green permission form, please do so as soon as possible. This is a reminder that all solar eclipse permission forms are due to Bobcat Den teachers no later than this Friday, May 5th. It is important that you bring this signed permission slip back, or you will not be able to participate in this once-in-a-lifetime experience. That's it for the announcements today, Bobcats. Let's now head over to Mr. Thull and Miss McClintock for two quick news stories on the future of Husker football and exciting updates to our city's zoo.
Husker Nation has their next quarterback. After a heated battle between Tanner Lee and Patrick O'Brien, Husker coach Mike Riley has made a decision. This fall, when the Huskers take the field against Arkansas State, we will see junior quarterback Tanner Lee as the starter. Riley said that Lee, who is a transfer from Tulane University, won the job based on his work ethic and previous experience playing for the Tulane Pelicans. Lee replaces longtime starter Tommy Armstrong, who graduated last year as one of the most prolific quarterbacks in Husker history. Coach Riley noted that he wanted to name a starter before going into spring camp to avoid having it as a distraction to the team. So Bobcats, it's now time to form your opinion. Do you think that Lee will help lead the Huskers back to the national spotlight?
Omaha has one of the best zoos in the country, and it's about to get a whole lot better. Recently, plans for the next big exhibit was released. Joining the freshly opened African Grasslands exhibit will be the Asian Highlands. This is an ambitious project that will cost an estimated $20 million. Half of the exhibit is scheduled to open in the summer of 2018 and the second half the following year. Included in the plans for this new exhibit will be a wildlife habitat for tigers and leopards, as well as 7 brand new species including red pandas. As well as new homes to many animals, zoo guests will also be able to enjoy a children's forest area that includes many trains for nature lovers.
Hey Bobcats, this is Mr. Wadalevich here in the Sports Zone to get you up to date in the world of athletics. The NFL had their 2017 draft in Philadelphia this weekend. Many head-shaking moves happened in the first few rounds. Most notably, the Bears moving up one spot to take Mitch Trubisky with the 2nd overall pick. To put this lightly and say the Bears reached for a quarterback in this year's draft would be an understatement. Trubisky only has 13 more college starts than I do at quarterback. Major League Baseball is in full swing. Many of the teams we are accustomed to see playing well are doing so again this year. But this year feels a bit different, as I am picking the Astros to win the World Series after they have started off hot, boasting the most wins in Major League Baseball. In hockey news, I still do not like hockey, therefore Mr. Hebert will break down the NHL tomorrow in part 2 of our staff edition. I will, however, be breaking down the NBA playoffs. We are getting into the month of May, so that means the NBA playoffs are heating up. In the start of round 2 on Sunday, the Boston Celtics took on the Washington Wizards. Although the Wizards started the game on a 16-0 run, it was the Celtics that came out on top of Game 1 of the Eastern Conference semifinals, 123-111. The Celtics, led by Isaiah Thomas, who scored 33 points and dished out 9 assists, all of this with playing with the tooth that he got knocked out in the first quarter. On the Western Conference side, the Utah Jazz downed the LA Clippers 104-91. Gordon Hayward scored 26 points and easily dismantled the Clippers. This is a huge running story for the Clippers as they have failed to advance into the second round 3 out of the last 4 years. In upcoming NBA games tonight, the Raptors and Cavaliers start their series along with the Spurs hosting the Rockets. Both series should be competitive, but as we all know, the Cavs have the second best player in the NBA, so I'm assuming that they will win in 5, while the Spurs will hold off the Rockets in 6. That's all for our NBA playoff breakdown, but before I send you over to the weather, let's take a quick look at some of the best plays from the NBA for the 2017 NBA season. Here you go, Bobcats. Check it out.
Been having a hard time finding his rhythm. Ahead it goes for Curry. Oh, what a play! Oh, didn't even block it, just stole it.
Where'd he come from?
And the crowd buzzing as the Thunder bench still.
Zaza winning that tip. Curry on the go route.
Back to Durant! What a play!
Well, it didn't take him 3 months to learn how to play.
Kyrie Irving with 3.4 remaining, and the Warriors call timeout. Irving does it again to the Warriors. He wants to get to his spot.
Taken by Henderson. Sixers don't call the timeout. Here's Ilyasova. Here's McConnell. Can he get it off? Yes!
Here comes Giannis, 2-on-1. Giannis, big steps to the rim and jams it.
Thunder is out of timeouts. Adams gives it back to Russ. Deep shot.
Hi Bobcats, this is Ms. Christensen here for your 3-day forecast. After that long stretch of rainy weather we've been having, let's see what the weather will do for the remainder of our school week. Today we have a slight chance of rain at only 20%, so it shouldn't affect the track meet scheduled for after school. As for temperatures, you can see we'll have a high of 62 and a low of 45. Moving into Thursday, the sun will be back out with a warm high of 68 and a low of 45. For our final day of the week on Friday, the temps get even nicer with mostly sunny skies, a high of 71 and a low of 49. That's all for the weather. Now on to the quick feature of the day with Mr.
How's it going, Bobcats? This is your 8th grade language arts and social studies teacher, Mr. Tolliver, here for our daily feature. As always on Mr. Torpin's episodes, let's begin by spinning that world-famous BBTV feature wheel. It looks like we landed on top tweet, which means we are tuning into the world of Twitter. For today, we are going to look at one of our favorite Twitter accounts, @BuffettMagnet. As many of you know, this is the official Twitter account of our school ran by Dr. Ortega. For today's daily feature, we found a cool website called socialbearing.com. This is a site that analyzes the Twitter account of your choice. We plugged in @BuffettMagnet to find out some analytics, and here's what socialbearing.com had to say. @BuffettMagnet has received 3,665 different tweets. It averages 2.58 tweets per day and has favored us 7,898 times. 58.9% of those tweets came from an iPhone and 41.5% came from a computer. That's just a few of the stats we've learned about using this site. If you're interested in finding out more, head over to socialbearing.com. That's all this time we have for our daily feature. Now let's head over to our brand new segment called the Reading Corner.
Miss Tuning. I'm so glad to be with you today. Tell me about your awesome book.
Oh, I finished it this weekend. It was so good. This is Out of the Easy by Ruta Sepetys. And she's written another book I really like, so I was excited to read this one. The Library Girls, Mrs. Campbell and Miss Mack told me all about it. It is set in 1950 New Orleans, and our main character, our protagonist, is 17-year-old Jo, and she's got a mom that has made a lot of bad decisions, and Jo doesn't want to follow in her footsteps. And so it's a book about coming of age and making good decisions and having troubles in your life, and she has a lot of them, but she works her way through them.
Okay.
Tell me about what you're reading.
I'm reading Courage for Beginners, and it's one of my favorite books. It's set in Texas, and I'm a Texan, so I love it, but it's also about 7th graders, and that's why I love it. It's about a girl who wants to fit in, but is not willing to be something she's not in order to fit in. Her best friend decides he's going to be popular, and he changes his personality, and he becomes kind of a horrible person, and she's not willing to do that. So she learns to become independent and understands that maybe popular isn't what it's all cracked up to be, and she's just funny. And her name is Misty, but it's spelled funny, so they call her Masta. And she goes from that. She's a redheaded, crazy little girl who's just wonderful. She's a typical 7th grader.
That's going to do it for our broadcast today, Bobcats. I want to personally thank all the teachers who helped make this staff edition possible. For more information on many of the stories you've heard today and to see what we're working on for future episodes, be sure to follow our Twitter page at BuffettBBTV. Signing off, this has been Mr. Torpin. Have a terrific day, Bobcats.